This is TechCrunch. The acting head of U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement told lawmakers that it has bought and used spyware made by Paragon Solutions in drug trafficking cases. That's according to a letter seen by TechCrunch. ICE Acting Director Todd Lyons wrote in the letter to three congresspeople that he approved the agency's Criminal Investigative Unit Homeland Security Investigations, or HSI, to use cutting-edge technological tools to counter foreign terrorist organizations thriving on exploitation of encrypted communication platforms, in a reference to spyware. Law enforcement's inability to access encrypted data has often been cited as a justification for their need to use computer and cell phone spyware for major criminal cases, as it can grab a person's data directly from their device. Critics and human rights defenders have long pointed to the growing list of journalists, politicians, and members of civil society whose phones have been hacked by governments using commercial spyware. In the letter, Lyons said ICE's use of spyware would comply with constitutional requirements, and that he certified that HSI's operational use of the specific tool does not pose significant security or counterintelligence risks or significant risks of improper use by a foreign government or foreign person. Bloomberg first reported ICE's letter to lawmakers. Back in 2024, ICE signed a contract with U.S. Israeli spyware maker Paragon Solutions, a deal that was promptly suspended by the Biden administration to ascertain whether it complied with an executive order that restricts U.S. agencies from using spyware that could be used to target Americans abroad or violate human rights. In September 2025, ICE lifted the block and reactivated the contract. Until now, however, it was not clear if ICE had planned to use Paragon's spyware. The spyware maker has been ensnared in a wide-ranging scandal in Italy, where journalists and pro-immigration activists were revealed to have been targeted with Paragon's spyware Graphite last year. In response, Paragon cut off Italy's intelligence agencies from using its spyware tools. When reached for comment, Democrat Representative Summer Lee, one of the lawmakers who had requested information from ICE, told TechCrunch that the agency is now moving forward with invasive spyware technology inside the United States. The lawmaker added, instead of answering the serious constitutional and civil rights concerns that we raised, DHS is asking the public to accept vague assurances and fear-based justifications. The people most at risk, including immigrants, Black and brown communities, journalists, organizers, and anyone speaking out against government abuse, deserve more than secrecy and deflection from an agency with a long record of overreach and abuse. Paragon and ICE did not respond to a request for comment and questions from TechCrunch about the agency's use of spyware. Well, Tesla spent more than a year touting that more affordable cars were on the way, and they finally arrived last October with stripped-down versions of the Model Y and Model 3, starting at $39,990 and $36,990, respectively. But the new vehicles are not moving the needle much for Tesla's overall sales, first quarter figures are showing. Tesla said Thursday that it delivered 358,023 EVs globally in the first 3 months of the year, below analysts' expectations of around 368,000. The company also produced far more than it sold, with the final tally built coming in at 408,386. Now, this means Tesla only delivered about 6% more cars in the first quarter of this year than it did in Q1 2025, which was the company's worst quarter in years. The Q1 2025 figures were also affected by the company shutting down production lines for a few weeks to switch some equipment, meaning Q1 2026 figures likely are not much of a real improvement. The sales figures are striking for a company that once promised to grow EV sales 50% every year, and the poor first quarter means Tesla now risks seeing its overall sales decline for a third year in a row, at a time when its profits are also tanking. Tesla is not the only company struggling to grow EV sales, especially in the U.S. Legacy automakers have backed away from it in some cases outright canceled once grand plans and ambitions for new EVs. Newcomers have struggled as well. Rivian announced Thursday that it shipped just over 10,000 vehicles in the first quarter, more or less the same figure it seems to report every quarter. Rivian does have a new model waiting in the wings, as it is about to start shipping its cheaper R2 SUV, which should boost sales. The company is banking on the R2 being hugely successful out of the gate, despite the fact that the cheapest version of it will not arrive until late 2027. Tesla does not have a new mass market vehicle ready to go. The company had been working on a much lower cost EV that was expected to be priced around $25,000, but CEO Elon Musk killed the project in favor of going all in on the Cybercab. In place of that $25,000 car, Musk instead had Tesla develop the stripped down Model Y and Model 3. The only truly new model Tesla has released over the last few years is the Cybertruck. While that outsells most other all-electric trucks, it's been a complete flop in the face of Tesla's and Musk's expectations for the steel-clad EV. In the first quarter of this year, Tesla only sold 16,130 other models, which includes the Cybertruck and the now-retired Model S and Model X. That's all for now. For more stories like these, go to TechCrunch.com.